Already the first few frags in favor of NiP. The players are so eager to get this underway. It's insane. They barely take a break. And I can't go to the toilet for the past 2 hours. So can't they. So the pressure must be high. Not only in their minds, but also in their bodies. Victor is the last man standing now that NKL was the only one putting up some resistance. And NiP just won it by Freiburg's quad kill. Insane start by him. He had his struggle from time to time. He didn't do as well as he could have done. But now he's back again. And I certainly hope that NiP have everyone performing as well as they can. E-frag as well. So we have an overtime. I would really like to see an overtime in this map. It is the third map, by the way. If you have just tuned in, you have to watch the VOD. If you don't watch the VOD, you don't love CSGO. You can watch it on my YouTube channel right after this game. I will upload the VODs as quickly as possible. So NiP with an easy anti-eco round here. No real trouble for them. Freiburg already sitting at 5 frags in 2 rounds. And E-frag, E-frag on another save, so let's talk about the map a little bit. It is slightly, it is one of those maps that got shifted around from heavily CT-sided to a little less CT-sided. I would not expect any scorelines anymore, especially not between those two teams. E-frag has insanely strong AK aimers, and they can do a lot of damage on the terrorist side, while NiP are not short of aim either. So let's just lean back and enjoy this game. I will not make any predictions. This game already proved to be non-predictable. Unpredictable. Impossible to predict. Just a few stinging shots there by Bubble. Tickling his opponents in connector. The same goes for the terrorists. Look at how low they are already on HP. This is definitely possible to win for the CTs. They still have Dreamer, the Joker with the Deagle. Bubble with the kill onto Forest. Pete with the reply, but there are still 4 CTs and they know where the terrorists are. They will move in together. Spy leader with that frag. He gets traded again, but NKL and Dreamer make it a 1v3. Now it's Pit, the new guy in the squad. He has to step up for his new teammates. Can he do it? Unarmored CTs. Closes AK. Gets a kill onto NKL. Now he's crammed in behind those boxes and Victor pushes him to death. E-frag will defuse the bomb and pull the upset against NiP. Thanks to Bubble just tickling the terrorists. And he was tickling them so long, they slowly but surely ran out of breath. And you can tickle somebody to death. I don't know if you knew, but there was a very tragic event when a husband, newlyweds, you know, they just married, and a husband was tickling his new married wife to death in their first night together. Just random trivia by the Boo, brought to you by Azubu. Focus on the map now. NiP with the 4 spy. Pit doesn't have a weapon, but the CTs do, and they have an AWP for Bubble. He is their more or less go-to AWP player, but they are more or less capable of AWPing across the board. Maybe not the strongest AWP players in the game, but they are good enough to defensively hold an angle, you know, and their aim is just so strong. Doesn't matter which weapon they hold. Spy leader holds the CT spawn. Bubble is smoked off for now. He's not really able to do too much. He wants to stay around the A-bomb site, but at the same time he wants to cover middle. And now it's Get Right opening up from balcony. Freiburg with a frag and Exist with another one, leaving Dream and Victor on their own. They're separated from each other. They can't save the orb anymore. And the only option they have is to run for their lives. Run for the hills. There they go. Into the B apartments. NiP will not contest those weapons. They will most likely stay put. At least the majority will. Freiburg wants to get some more blood on his hands, but it's unlikely to happen. The money for Freiburg is looking good. That's why he goes for the kill, while Pete and Forrest wouldn't be able. Well, Forrest is not alive, but you know what I mean. Pete wouldn't have the money if he lost his weapon. He would have had a hard time buying up. So NiP with a 3-1, upsetting E-frag again. Or well, not really upsetting them, but winning that rifle round. And it's still up in the air. E-frag will still buy. They go for the aggressive move. Now Spiley that tries to help his teammate out, but they are Molotov'd away, and they can't really help each other. But Bubble steps up with the refrag in middle, keeping them in the running for this round. Existing company slowing down now. The first exchanges. Forrest is working on B. He's opposed by NKL. If I read correctly. They are playing the waiting game. Forrest teammates are rotating in. And now NKL spots the smoke. He calls in for the small rotation, not a full rotation yet. They still think it might be a fake, but they have gathered information. No, actually it's Dreamer on the other side. I can't read. NKL is the one that pushes out of the A bomb site while Bubble holds on. The double kill, the triple in the round. Spiley then NKL have to work together. NKL comes in from behind, but Spiley that didn't give his teammate the chance to make his position work. Spiley that should have just tried to stay alive as long as possible to have NKL make that backstab work. He still makes it work, at least on Forrest. Exists in the back of the site. He gets spotted by NKL. Now both know where each other is. NKL with the Farmer spray onto Exist. He saves the orb as well. And E-frag wins that unlikely situation. They were down to a 5v2 at the moment. And NiP... No, it was a 4v2. Bubble got a frag before. And NiP will not convert this third round into a fourth. They will not force the CTs on a save. They have to keep it up again. NiP with a force buy. They have enough money to get good grenades on almost all of them except for Exist. It's more... Well, it is a weapon round, but... Exist would have liked to have a few more grenades. Bubble and company on the other side have bought down to 0. If they lose this round, they need to save. There's no question about that. But the same goes for NiP. So either of the teams could win, you know, possibly win 2 rounds if they win this one. They know how important it is. They go for the aggressive move outside of the A bomb site. Spiley with a second frag. Oh, that was overextending. He didn't expect another one to be there. But Freiburg gets the frag. Getright goes down in middle. 2v2 now thanks to Exist, who steps up in the CT spawn area. Freiburg puts down the bomb and it's a 2v2. Dreamer is down to low HP, but he puts Exist even lower while Bubble picks off Freiburg. It's Exist in CT spawn. They know that he's there. He has to single them out. There goes the first one. Bubble comes in. Exist wanted to pick up some of this equipment, but there's nothing lying around, and Bubble holds on to the bomb. 5 more seconds to go. Exist is not going for the peak. Now he does, and just in the nick of time, Exist gets it done. NiP win this round by just 2 more seconds. I mean, that was a little too close for comfort in my opinion. A good job by the Swedes to come back again. Once again, it's back and forth at the start of the game. E-frag with the force upgraded pistol. already lose the first player to Get Right, who's just skating through. He might run into some opposition, drops down into the stairs, Molotovs away, gets the second frag of the round and makes it a third. Bubble and NKL left scratching their heads on where to go. They have armor, so it's worth saving that. But it's unlikely that Bubble can cross to his teammate. At least Freiberg gets taken out. Was a little distracted by NKL popping out there. And he will plant the bomb. Bubble could try to get his hands on the AK. He calls in for his teammate. Come on, let's do it together. Oh, cheeky. But not cheeky enough. They get spotted out and the terrorists will push even forward. The AK is still lying there. Or is it? Yes. So the terrorists will probably try to pick that up. Get Right checking all the corners. Going for the ace. Unlikely he will pick it up, but there goes Forrest. Saving the AK. And with the amount of money Get Right already picked up, the terrorists are looking for a very good opening here. Get Right with the 4th kill. Bubble sitting at the terrorist spawn. He hears Exist come by, but goes down instantly. NiP make it 5-2. After some struggle, they get solid ground underneath their feet and they are carrying it away. The CTs with another save coming up. And this time around it will be almost full save. Except for Spy Leader, nobody buys a P250. E-frag will give this round to NiP. And the terrorists account for that. Oh, as quickly as they go down, I can't even switch to Exist. Forrest is coming in from Connector and Victor is alone on B. Nothing he can do anymore. NiP will get even more money on Get Right. And they didn't buy the weapon for Freiberg, so they almost expected somebody to go down. And that's a cool thing to do on the terrorist side. You don't necessarily need 5 weapons to win the round. So why not have somebody only go with a pistol? And in case one of your rifle players gets taken out, the pistol guy can still pick up the weapon and you almost lost nothing. Middle control by the CTs with Spy Leader and NKL focused on A, but Spy Leader could quickly support his teammates in middle in case there is something coming up. NiP take it very slowly on mid and A. So it's gonna be an A split, that's for sure. NKL and Dreamer make it look good for the CTs, but Exist with the refrag keeps the terrorists a slither of hope. Forrest is still in apartments. He's still smoked off. Exist is not making his way into the A-bomb site yet. He's picking up the bomb first. And now they want to make it happen over there. E-frag already pulls players in there. And if they go for that peek, there could be the deadly opener for the terrorists. If Forrest gets the kill, it would be the game changer. Or the round changer. Bubble closes out Exist. Bomb is dropped again. Forrest gives away his position. The CTs already guessed where he was with the sprays. You were able to hear that they are approaching him. But nobody picks up the frag on Forrest yet. And they will let him slip through their fingers. He actually comes back again. So he wants to fight for the round. Or at least fight for some more frags. Leg shot on the CT there in A main. Good job by Forrest. But it's not enough to get the frag. The CTs are paying the respect to the legend. They are not pushing him. They don't want to lose their rifles. Victor stays inside. And they will not go for it. They rather have their own economy kicking off instead of removing that orb from the hands of Forrest. E-frag with a 3rd round now. They have to string them together. There is almost no room for error anymore for the Bulgarian squad. If they want to win this matchup, they need to win Mirage, and they already lost a big bunch of rounds to NiP early on. And Forest still has that AWP. It is dangerous for the CTs to peek. They go for the rifle peek in middle. But Spy Leader with the double kill. Going to work on connector. Maybe he can do some more from the stairs. Existing Get Right are working together, but again, it is almost impossible for them to come back. There is Spy Leader getting the kill on Fixis. Get Right is on top of mid. He puts a bullet into the shoulder of Dreamer and follows it up with another one to get the frag. 4v1. Get Right would be one of those guys that can pull it off if you give him an opening, and he has the time to do so. E-frag knows that, so they stay as defensively as possible. Victor with the off angle. And Get Right getting closer to the site. Now as soon as he walks in there, the CT should be able to cover him with a crossfire. And in case he kills the first two, he still has to fight against the last two. 35 seconds on the clock. He's got one more flash to work with and the Molotov to block off stairs. Good job onto Spy Leader. He catches the Molotov. And it explodes in his face. 19 HP remain for him while Get Right is working on A main. He's still working, trying to find that frag and CT spawn. Doesn't happen. And now he's running out of time sometime soon. The CTs still go for the peak. Victor goes down. Now Get Right on the prowl for some more frags. 8 seconds. Now he has to plant the bomb, but he's just standing there. He wanted to be killed. That was his only chance to get money. If they had killed him after the round, it would have been quite bad for the terrorists. Now Deagle for Freiburg, the rest of the squad with AKs. Still a fighting chance for NiP, but 2 more rounds for E-frag and they have equalized the score again. Mirage is already looking good for NiP. I mean, 6 rounds on the terrorist side. Something that most teams would be happy with already. And if they make it 1 more round, it will be very hard for E-frag to come back. Victor is alone inside the B bomb site. Freiburg already picked off Dreamer. And it's up to Victor to stop that B push from happening. He gets traded by Get Right 4v3. The terrorists will take their time, but NKL is going down to 11 HP. Spy Leader still picks up the frag onto Pete, but Get Right with another trade and Get Right with another one, leaving it up to Bubble to clutch the round with his AWP. And most often the AWP players rather go for the saves. With a 1v3, the likelihood of Bubble really getting that clutch are really slim. NiP with a very good start in the 3rd map will make it 7-4, and E-frag will not have too much money to work with in the next round. Bubble will be flanked and his AWP will be taken out as well. So 1.9 for Dreamer, 3k for Bubble, 4 only for NKL and 3 for Spy Leader. The only one with a decent amount of money was Victor. Dreamer. Victor was the one with the least amount. E-frag with 4-5, 3 Famas. They go for the aggressive play, but it doesn't work out. It seems like everything they try is going down the drain. Another not so promising CT side by the Bulgarian squad. Oh, Spy Leader having trouble with his Famas. But oh, the last bullet in the clip makes it happen on Forest. Exist opens up the A-bomb set, but he lost the majority of his HP to a headshot by his counterpart. The terrorists will still go for A. And Spy Leader is the guy to watch. He's got the right weapon to encounter them. He already got 2 frags in middle. Victor is alone on B, so he has a lengthy route to rotate. Spy Leader will see Pete, but doesn't get the frag. Victor has to travel across the world, so it seems, until he's on the A-bomb site. He will not make it in time, but he will pick up a weapon on the way. So at least he's not going to go in there with his EZ-75, but with a FAMAS. Pete and Exist had the time to get into very good after-plan positions. Pit could go as far as rotate all the way through middle and get back to A from a very unexpected angle. And Victor decides to just stick the bomb. That's the best chance he had, in my opinion, as well, because he didn't know where the terrorists are. If he fakes, they will wait 3 seconds, then they will peek him, then he might get a frag, but then he has to do it again, and the terrorists will just play with the clock on the bomb. So his idea of sticking it was not too bad, in my opinion. Still, NiP up 8-4. E-frag with a save, and the Swedes will, no question about that, pull away even further. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Spy leader with 12 frags, 16 for Get Right, 11 for Exist and Freiburg. So everyone is pulling his own weight on NiP. Depending on the map, Exist did a 360 peek on Bubble, didn't get the no-scope. Nah, he had an AK, but you know, the FaZe clan. Get Right with a headshot onto NKL as well as Pete, and Forrest gets one in between. It's only Spy leader standing for E-frag. He doesn't have armor either. 50. Oh, that must hurt. Only one more bullet and Forrest would be dead. But NiP win it and make it 9-4. So easy pickings for them. E-frag tried almost every single trick they had. They already had Victor all the way in here while his teammates covered the A-bomb side. They had 2 aggressive rounds in middle, and you know, nothing works. So what are they supposed to do? Go back to default, which didn't work. AWP didn't work. 5 rifles didn't work. It's just very hard for them to figure out what to do. While NiP have, you know, in Germany there's a saying, when you have too many choices, it gets very hard to choose, and then having those choices is actually bad again. And that's what NiP is facing. They have so many different successful strategies at their disposal. They don't know which one to use. And whenever they do so, they might think, oh, maybe this time it won't work. No, that's not the right to approach it. The right way to approach it would be, yes, let's go. You know, mentality. Be positive about the game and you will win and you will do great things. This doesn't do well. Now he did get the spray through the wood onto NKL, but Dreamer with a double kill pulls it back in the favor of the CTs. He has the bomb under control. That's what is the most important thing about those kills. Pete and Forrest together, but not anymore. Pete was so far away from his teammate he couldn't support him, and Forrest just wanted to get another frag to equalize it back to 2v2 and then have a fighting chance, but no chance for him. Pete pushes forward into the A-bombs at 11 seconds on the clock. They will peek him one after another, but Dreamer has him covered with a headshot. E-frag is back on the board after another 3-round streak. And if NiP keep doing what they are doing, E-frag will lose this round, and it would be 10-5. So Famous for Bubble. The last attempt of E-frag to make it halfway successful. I mean, even if they get the 6th round, it's not successful at all on the CT side. And Get Right, magnetic headshot onto Bubble. Spy leader, however, has enough. He is fed up. He wants to get some more blood. 3v3, Pit with the deagle only. He's down to 61 HP as well. The terrorists are quite far inside the site already. NKL catches another bullet, goes down to 8, but it doesn't keep him from getting the kill on Big Sis. Now he goes down to Pete, and the 2v2 gets turned into a 1v1 by Victor. This is the last round of this first half on the 3rd map. Whoever wins this will have the winner bracket laid out in front of him on the Group C, with Gamers 2 and Alternate. Gamers 2 waiting in the winner bracket, while Alternate are waiting in the loser bracket. Victor stays on the A bomb side, and Forest goes for B. Now Victor has a defuse kit, but he can't afford to sneak to the B bomb site, so he wants to find some information. That's why he went for that peek, and now he's going for the early rotation already. He's quite close to the side. He wants to avoid letting Forest slip through his fingers, and he didn't slip through his fingers. Victor just gets into the face of Forest, and he clutches the 1v1. Heads-up play by Victor. Even though Forest did everything right, it wasn't good enough in this round. I mean, Forest had his fair share of 1v1 clutches already, so the reason, or the fact that he lost this one shouldn't be that big of a problem for NiP. They have the 9-6 lead anyway, and they are on the CT side now. Mirage is still heavily CT sided, or it isn't as heavily CT sided as it initially was, but it's still CT sided. And E-frag is one of those teams that are very strong on the terrorist side. With those AK headshots, they can completely wreck you if you go for the wrong peaks in the wrong moments. And NiP would like to have that pistol to have another good start into another good half. 12-6 would definitely put E-frag back into the place. NiP the heavy favorites in this best of 3 series. But Freiburg already caught a bullet, down to 14. E-frag is waiting. They are waiting for the CT's move, if there would be any move. And they're waiting for the call of their in-game leader, NKL, picking up the bomb now. They get ready for the execution. Smoke is there in middle. Oh, Forest just barely got the tag onto Victor. 87 still remain for the Bulgarian player. All the terrorists are in position, and Get Right is in his home turf. Let's see what he can do from that position. P2000 in hand. He won't have that big of an impact yet, but NKL is going for the push. He expects Get Right to be there. Shoots him straight in the face. Now Forest has to step up from the CT spawn. The bomb is about to be planted. He does not intercept it. It just goes down. 4v3. Victor from Connector. He keeps the CTs at bay for a few more seconds, and they have to push him. They have to counter that move. Freiburg with 2 HP picks up the headshot, but Bubble with a double makes it a 2v2 again. Pete and Freiburg working together. Pete in Get Right and Freiburg on the bomb. Dreamer will dispose of one, and Bubble picks up a third frag of the round to make it 7-9. And E-frag could have a chance here on the third map. It's Pete's first game here for NiP, first official one. And so far he didn't do too bad. That's an understatement. 4v2 in favor of the terrorists. Freiburg and Pete with the deagles. Freiburg already taken out. Pete is spotted as well, and he just doesn't find that headshot. 8-9 for E-frag. 4 players survive. Their economy is getting started, and the CTs have to save one more round to be able to purchase the weapons. So it should be a 9-9. Slow start by the terrorists. The CT set another trap. NiP really specialized in that. They had quite a few traps on cache, and a few well, on Mirage they haven't really set a trap so far, but they weren't in a position to set a trap. They were on the terrorist side. Now Freiburg with a headshot onto Dreamer, he couldn't get his hands on anything, and he realized that Dreamer didn't have a weapon, so he backs away again and doesn't risk his life there. E-frag is working on their own, and that's something that I really don't like here. They push in from every single direction, which could look like a good attempt, but they are easy targets. If they run into a double stack, it's gonna be really hard for them. And the CT's already got 2 frags. Now NKL is caught reloading his gun. Oh, he just barely survives that. Thankfully, his teammate Bubble stepped up as well and got the kill. But it could have been way closer than it was. So, first weapon round in the second half. It's gonna tell us and you out there if NiP can make this a quick third round, a quick third map, or if it will take a little longer for them. E-frag is a strong AK team, and they don't necessarily need to pick up an AWP to make it happen. Just a straight A go to start it off. E-frag, don't wait too long. The CTs already have to rotate as quickly as possible. NKL is there, and GetRight didn't check his side. Forest is covering the stairs against Dreamer. 4v4, the bomb is planted. The CTs have to wait until the smoke dissolves to make that retake. And the terrorists use that time to get into good positions. 2 players in main covering each other. The same goes for NKL and Bubble on the apartments and underneath at the ninja box. Freiburg checking out GetRight and also the big box. NKL goes down after trading 1. But if they keep doing what they do right now, the CTs will not win this round. They only have 1 defuse kit on Pete. And Exist has to cover him. Exist with a double kill, a triple. No, it's Forest who stole the frag. And a bomb is being defused by Pete. NiP make this retake happen against all odds. And against a very slow start into the retake, E-frag was not able to hold on to it, even though they got those. They had the good position here, 1 here, and 2 guys in main. That should have been enough for them to win the round. But the timing was unfortunate, and NiP was a little bit too strong. They just had everything settled. Exist played a big role with his double kill. And the bomb plant, the position of the bomb plant was unfortunate for E-frag. That maybe, or that might have been the bigger thing. Forest with a good double kill inside the A bomb site. Bubble and NKL are already alone, and Pit knows where Bubble was. Tracked him down, took him out. NKL is coming in from B, but the CTs should be aware of that. In a few moments they will probably expect him to lurk around in some unexpected position. That's why they dig in deep. Forest is looking at his back, while Freiburg is watching the CT spawn. NKL will walk in there. He's still surprised. Freiburg doesn't get the initial spray down. That allows Freiburg to deal some more damage to the terrorists. Pit and Forest together against NKL. 38 seconds on the clock. Now he knows where the AWP is, but Pit with the unexpected approach from A main gets it done. Makes it 11-9. A 2-round streak for NiP. Something that E-frag wasn't able to achieve. But E-frag got their first round a little earlier. So if you compare the halves, it is 3-2 in the 5th round, as well as now on the second half it is 3-2 in the half on the 5th round. And we are facing another rifle round. NKL with the Galil, the rest of the squad with AKs, except for Dreamer, who also had to pick up the weaker weapon. GetRight with the P90. So if you take the weaponry into consideration, the AWP definitely favors the CTs, but it's quite level. The terrorists are really slow. They don't fancy middle. They don't have an AWP to counter that. And they are waiting with their smoke until they want to go for the site. So the smoke in window will go down when they make their move to the site and not before it. They can't afford to smoke it up again, because otherwise they won't have enough smoke for the A execution. Spy leader takes point. The smoke is there in window. And the frag pushes through to the B bomb site. That's an unexpected turn of events for the CTs. They expected an A go. And Victor with the frag will open it up as well. Forest is down to 2 HP. Bubble on the A bomb site. The CTs are still not sure where this real attack is coming from and going to. But Freiburg poses real trouble here against the terrorists on the B bomb site. 2v2. He is in B short, and Forest is still on A. The bomb is inside the B bomb, but Forest covers B short. It's NKL alone against the two CTs. He's running out of time. He has to plant the bomb. He fakes it one more time to draw out Freiberg. He picks him up with a headshot of the Galil. And Forest on a lengthy rotation still. But he will not be expected to come from B apartments. At least, I don't know if NKL will have him on his radar. If he will expect him. He does now. He spotted him, but Forest spotted him as well. He reloads his weapon, prepares for the fight. Forest knows that NKL is low, but NKL has a rifle, so he's got the better weapon to spray down in case he misses the first few bullets. He can still follow it up. 2 HP for Forest. He's putting the pressure up. The P250 will make it happen. Forest with yet another 1v1 clutch, and he will defuse the bomb in just the right moment. E-frag is not able to get that magical clutch on the board. NKL with a good attempt. No question about that. But he didn't get a single bullet into Forest. And that will haunt him throughout this matchup. That I'm really sure of. A player like NKL, he's very competitive. I talked to him in a few of the events I visited. And he's a really cool guy as well. And he will probably smash another keyboard, even though it was Bubble that smashed the keyboard before. NKL's keyboard might follow up if E-frag loses this map. He knew how important that round was for the momentum of his team, as well as for his own confidence and for the confidence of NiP. The Swedes are definitely doing everything right at the moment. It was a 2v2 and Forest made it a 2v1 at first. So if he hadn't been around, it would have probably gone the way of the terrorists in the first place. And then he managed to clutch it in a 1v1 on top of that. E-frag is back on the A bomb site. They just tried to go for B to throw the CTs off a little bit, but Forest has B short covered. The terrorist already put Spy Leader in connector. He's got a crucial position now for that push. He surprises Pit. He still puts a bullet to the head of Spy Leader. The CTs have the rotation by Forest, and he is going big with his AWP today. He's really feeling it in the year 2016. Get Right is there as well. It's a 1v3 in favor of the CTs, and Dreamer is down to 29 already. He tries to plant the bomb, but Freiberg has him covered. 13-9 in favor of the Swedes. NiP is getting further and further away with the scoreline. And E-frag is not able to do too much about it. They have only Tech 9s now. And one CZ75 for Spy Leader. They will go for A yet again. So not too much middle play by E-frag. They respect Forest a lot with his AWP, but Forest knows that he's not necessarily needed in middle due to the fact that E-frag didn't play middle too much. And if they play middle, they play it very late in the round, so you can basically give it up and just focus on A cover. And KL with the magic Tech 9 frag. Dreamer and Victor go down. It's a 2v4. The bomb got planted, so the terrorists still have a chance here. Spidey that tries to get his hands on a frag, but it's not happening. Freiberg and Exist with the kills. NiP make it 14-9. And now they live up to the favorite expectations. The expectations of all their fans, of the community as well. But E-frag have one more chance to keep the CTs from reaching map point. And if they reset the CT's money, the terrorists could come back into this game. Never forget about the downward spiral, the devil's circle in German. NiP could get into that downward spiral of economy and then losing round, then not buying up again because they lost a round, and at first taking it easy because there are still 5 rounds for E-frag to make up for, but then quickly realizing that they are under pressure, and E-frag can thrive with that if the Bulgarian squad can even reset the CT's money. NiP is going for their own crucial push. It's Freiberg who picks up Spy Leader, and KL with the reply on the B bomb site. Pit tried to push from the underpass. And a good flash, but Bubble messes up that spray. That was the one chance he had to really open up the B bomb site. Forest runs away with his life. 11 HP remain. Freiberg is on B short. He can support his teammate. E-frag is running out of time as well. They go for another rotation towards the A bomb site. And they have the smoke that covers them. But 2 more CTs in sight. Dreamer has to wait for the incendiary nade to clear. And Freiberg comes back from B short. He covers Connector as well as Exist. Get Right is there. Goes down to Dreamer. And KL with another frag, but a bomb goes down in middle. 25 seconds for Dreamer. He knows where Freiberg is. But Forest with another 1v1 win for NiP. I don't know how many rounds Forest has won in a 1v1. But it must be more than... I mean, at least 4 throughout this best of 3. I don't know, I can't keep track of everything. Oh, some lags here. Sorry for that. It seems like the server is dying a little bit. Okay. Now we are back again. So, sorry for that small lag. Exist with the first frag in this crucial round. 6, or for the CTs, 6 match points for NiP to get to the winning, or to the winner's bracket and face off against G2 down the line. E-frag would have to fight against Alternate. The German team already made G2 struggle. The bomb is ticking in favor of the Bulgarian squad. NiP could make it another very successful retake. They get the first frag. Victor trades, but he gets traded by Pete. It's a 3v2 now. Good nade on the CT, and KL follows it up with a spray onto Forest. And together, they hold hands. NKL is in CT spawn. Great position for him, but now the Dreamer is down. It could actually turn into the CT's favor. They are on the defuse already, and oh, the meat shield works out. Exist gives up his life for Pete to defuse the bomb, and NiP will win it 16-9. What a